This is Embrace 2020, bringing a spark of positivity from industry professionals into your home.
Hi everyone, this is Embrace 2020 and we are here to bring a sparkle of positivity from the experts in the journalist field, in the media field, and to talk about challenges and let's say good practices in this weird times of Corona. I will avoid the word tough times because we are about positive here. My name is Sasha Boole. I will be the moderator today's talk. I'm a musician and partly a journalist also, so I'm also like in the topic. And my guests today are Alex Bondarenko. He's a journalist. He's a chief editor and a founder of one of the biggest Ukrainian media called LiRoom. It's on the list of top 3 medias in Ukraine. And David Stammer, he's also media guy. As I learned from his bio, he's a guy who used to work in one of the biggest German radio stations, and he was taking care about live broadcasts and live streams of the music performances and stuff. So let's start, guys. Hello.
Nice meeting you guys.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So let's start actually with the good memories. Please share with me, share with the people who will listen and watching it, some positive, good moments from actually the year that is passing by, and soon we'll say goodbye to 2020. So let's make some kind of conclusion. So let's start with David.
Thank you for the introduction as well. 2020 was special, very special. And coming to your question, I think in general, the best memory I have of it was that sudden feeling of having time, having more time for projects and things that really matter. And out of that, a lot of inspiring and creative projects came out, so to speak. And I think that was, what was the best for me. I don't know if we are starting to get more specific right now, but just as an overall picture, I think it was especially during the first lockdown phase in Germany, beginning of April. And as you mentioned, I worked at this radio stations, SWR3 and Dusting in the southwest of Germany. And our broadcasting, not only what we did in radio, but also on the internet, was heavily centered around live broadcasting or live events and everything covering these topics and these events. And then all of a sudden it was cancelled. And that gave us this creative freedom to think new, to start our processes and projects all over again. And we had really nice pushes forward concerning the digitization of our company, and found a lot of new ways to work together, and also bring our listeners, viewers, users, really nice features, especially in these times, and got some great feedback on that. Yeah, that's.
Thank you. It's a good start. A lot of good things happened, as you can see. What about you, Alex?
I think that the best thing that happened in 2020 is the sparkle of creativity all around Ukrainian music, not only my media, specifically not my media, but for example, I liked those vertical concerts a lot that were launched in Kyiv and Hotel Bratislava, when people were standing on the hotels, on the balconies, and watching a stage that was right behind them. That was really cool. I didn't see anything comparable in the world right now. Also, a lot of people began to go online, and even bars began launching their own radio stations. I think that's great because everyone looks for something new. Everyone finds out that he can do much more than they could when they had not such a lot of restrictions. That's funny because you find something new when you have restrictions around you. And also, I think that it showed us that our sphere, that musical industry, is not so, weak as we thought. Because everyone thought at the beginning of the lockdown that if the concert disappear, we will fall down, no more musicians, everyone will go, I don't know, programming or something like that. But no, the year has come, the year has ended already, and still we try to make concerts, we try to make albums, and everyone is hoping for the next year for festivals to come back and to again launch everything back down. I think that's cool.
So I guess as a conclusion, we can say that the main like pros from 2020, the main good things from 2020, this Corona lockdown, it's actually this creativity push up, yeah, because like people got a lot of free time, people got a lot of like new ways to like a lot of opportunities to find some new ways to share their music, so that's why actually a lot of those good things happened.
I think because people were ought to find non-standard ways. They had to think something new, something out of the box, like the people on startup conferences say, and that really worked. And all around the world, in all economies and in music industry especially.
Okay, as the musician, as a person who also tried myself in and still trying in kind of online way of living, online concerts and stuff, and also as a person which also like watching other musicians live events and consuming a lot of online material, I can see that this kind of interest to online events is slowly going down, like comparing to the April, May, when like if you're streaming something, there's like hundreds of people watching it like immediately. Right now people really like get used to it and get bored of it. And in your own opinion, what do you think? What's the way to keep the sparkle of interest to this kind of events, to keep them really live, not like just literally live events, but really live, that people feel this kind of communication and like watching it because it's really interesting?
It could be really nice if we keep that all this creativity that emerged. And when we have live events again, that we keep streaming them and keep finding ways to let a lot of more people participate that fit into one venue, for example. And also try to keep on doing these interactive things like having a live chat, having the possibility to interact with the artist on stage, from you being at home. I think that would be really nice to continue with that after lockdown.
To search for some like how to combine it and make some kind of this Frankenstein, yeah, half online and half like really live events, and to keep it this way, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Hybrid forms of music concerts could definitely be a way going forward.
Okay, guys, we talked about events from the perspective mostly of the musician. Let's talk about media more, because of course with the lockdown, with a much more less number of events, journalists have nothing to write about. They have nothing to speak about. And as we can see, as far lockdown is going on, as less also releases going on, because musicians, they don't want to release new material because they don't know can they tour with it or not, so they're keeping things for the future. How it looks from the perspective actually of a journalist. Maybe let's Alex start, because he's like a journalist, and then like let's talk in general about like medias.
It's kind of a funny thing because, yeah, you're right that there are not a lot of releases coming out, there are not a lot of you can write about, but on the other hand, right now I have much more time to find out what's going on in the industry itself. I began to find out how do we monitor radio, how do we monitor, for example, TV, how do it work at all, how do we find new musicians, how do producers work and stuff like that. You usually don't have time for that when you're on your standard motion, because you need to write down about the releases on Friday, you need to write down about some popular star writing an album right now. Now I don't have to write about it, so I have a lot of time to find out how it works exactly. And that's really cool, and I begin to write about it much more, and I see that the people like to read about it, because almost no one talks about it right now, because everyone thought that it's boring and not interesting information, and it finds out that it's not. So that's where I find the new field for me as a journalist, and that's where I'm going on right now.
So, let's say in general, less reportage and less just simple report, but more analytics and digging deeper in a creative process, the way industry works and stuff. We definitely need here someone who works with this, gossip kind of information. Somebody from this. It's like how it changed in the life of celebrities and gossips about celebrities. Okay, what about radio? David, can you tell us how it changed for the radio station?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we were heavily, especially in summer, focused on festival broadcasting. So we did like big broadcasting, radio and for TV or online, and everything, like the whole team that we're the media team, did content like interviews and like just releasing stuff for our socials on a lot of different festivals in the southwest of Germany. And what I think was really nice, what we came up with for our biggest festival, which was called Southside Festival in the south of Germany, was we did Southside Festival Home Edition. So instead of saying it can't happen, we have to talk about something else, we try to bring this festival feeling to the people at home. So what we did, we produced a live stream of, I think it was 6 to 8 hours with concert highlights of the previous years. We had a team going to the empty campsite of the festival and doing interviews with some of the artists and the organizers who also came. They even did a small live show in there. We had our DJ team, good friends of mine, doing the after show party from the left hangar, which they have at this location. And yeah, we put that stream up. Reactions were really nice, and also we sent people festival at home packages. So we delivered them, I don't know, a tent or just cool merchandise stuff to get that festival feeling. And we found it was a really nice replacement, and we had so many things to cover. In the end, sometimes it felt more challenging and more time consuming than just reporting about the festival, because in the digital world, obviously, there are so many other things to care about. And that was one thing we could do on the radio side. It was really nice. Another thing I thought was typical for radio was the direct working with how people felt at home in this certain area. And there were a lot of like small projects we could do as journalists or as media people. For example, we thought about people, especially in April, they have birthday and they can't meet any people. It's really for them. So we invited them to suggest friends, and he has birthday next Friday. And then we came up with video content and songs. So all of the team in the at the radio station, they sung one line of Happy Birthday on video and on tape, so to speak. And we broadcasted these special individualized birthday songs for the people on live on air, basically. And they were on the phone and really happy, and they got their personalized videos, which was really a thing for people at that time. So yeah, just when the normal stuff isn't happening to report about, come up with different strategies. And maybe it's a simple idea, just sing happy birthday, just like that.
What about DJs? Because as I actually know from your bio, David, that you are passionate DJ, and as guys told me during the briefing, he is a lot of hip hop guy. So to tell us about like a hip hop scene, about DJ life and stuff.
Yeah, switching to kind of an artist perspective now. That was some thing that I found really interesting when lockdown started. So every DJ started his own Instagram live stream. That was like first things first. Then the people moved over to Twitch. Some of them have been there before because it was a little bit easier with copyright infringements, at least at that part. So that was something really early started. And I was thinking about mentioning this when you talked about technology. Some of them really brought it to the next level using devices such as OBS to work with multiple camera angles and really trying to deliver like awesome content, which is not only putting your phone next to your DJ set, and start really like your own broadcasting show, which was for DJs regular playing in clubs earlier really difficult to do that. They just wouldn't get the time and the creative freedom to do something like that. On top of that, a project I was quite heavily invested in was United We Stream, which started in Berlin, and they started to stream DJ events from empty clubs, first in Berlin, then it sparkled out to all over Germany, basically, in a lot of towns in the southwest as well. I participated in one of them as well. And in the beginning, it was only like picturing DJ sets, but really nicely done with big media teams. And then they started to do concerts, they started to do lectures, they started to do, especially in the hip hop part, all different elements of hip hop. So there was graffiti writing, there was rapping, there was breakdancing even while the DJs were playing. So we had really nice, interactive, all element hip hop shows, basically out of nowhere. And especially during this time, a lot of people watching as well. So I think in the DJ scene, there was a huge boost on the digital side of the business as well.
Yeah, there was also a cool Ukrainian project started called EVZ, where DJs were playing on the ancient castles and some other cool locations all around Ukraine. It's kind of analog of Circle Project. I guess everyone knows Circle Project, but it was really cool. And even the lockdown didn't make it close, because you don't need a lot of people right for this set. You just need really cool cameras and drones flying around. So it really worked.
Maybe you have any kind of prognosis about upcoming technologies, about upcoming platforms, about upcoming tendencies, because we still don't know when like the thing will end and everything will get back to the, let's say, normal way. And what about your vision, like how it will work in the next half a year, next year, how industry will react?
I don't know about really, breakthrough technologies or the next big thing or stuff like that, but as I see from some analytics that there was one interesting thing happening in the beginning of this year, because everyone thought that all the people will go streaming, everyone will listen to streaming services, it will plump up and stuff like that, but it didn't happen. But after some time, we saw that we didn't have a lot of new listeners, but more listeners began to pay for that. So we got more and more paid listeners every month. That means that people are sitting at home, they don't go to office, they need to listen to something, and now at least they can listen it from the not their headphones, but from the monitors. And that means that there will be more and more podcasts, as far as I see, as far as I believe. That people will make more podcasts, more exclusive playlists and stuff like that. It was 10 years ago already, but no one was listening to it. But now we see Joe Rogan selling his stuff to Spotify for millions and millions of dollars. And I think that's the tendency that we will see.
I would totally agree with Alex. And I think I could add some platforms or overall tendencies I we are observing at the moment, coming out of what you already mentioned, Sasha, for example, Patreon. Not only this platform, but the general tendency that the community aspect of your music is something really, really important. And for example, platforms like Patreon are very good in doing just that. That fans can support their artists directly. And basically, no matter what they do, of course, they get like special features of the art or like insights into the creative process. But a lot of people on Patreon just support people because they like them. They want to support them, no matter if an album is coming out or a tour is being played. And I think in this respect, music people, the music business can learn a lot from the gaming industry, for example, who were really forward thinking with the idea. For example, on Twitch, people were just streaming and getting this little donations and tips. And I think for musicians, it's some really strange thing to ask for money to be supported like that. It's just something not really common. But I think that's going to change because, as you both mentioned, when touring is gone and streaming, I don't know, sometimes intransparent, you have to diversify. And for example, you can go into podcasts and try to find solutions there. You can try to go to other platforms. You maybe can start streaming on Twitch and trying to monetize, so to speak, your production process. And there are people doing that. So I think it's all about embracing new technologies and combining them so that you're not solely have to rely on touring and selling I don't know your music or merch.
I agree with you. Thank you, guys. We are running out of time, so for the as the conclusion, as the end, I want to ask you like pretty personal thing. When lockdown will be end, when everything will get back to the life we used to know it, like in 2018, for example, which would be the first thing you dream to do? It can be something from like, I don't know, to go to bar and have a crazy party there, fight with someone and be arrested, to, I don't know, visit some like opera concert or like go to the festival, like be creative, be as weird as you can be, like any of your weird fantasies about the end of the lockdown. I can see the smile on the face of David. So let's start with David.
It's not a weird fantasy, so to speak. But one thing I'm really looking forward to is going back on a rave again. Like just being there, don't having to care about anything with your, I don't know, your group, your people, and just going straight to that. Maybe during summer, some open air festival. It's not a weird thing. It's a thing we all kind of hoping for, and I'm really, really looking forward. Not only playing there, playing own gigs, but
but just being like, being surrounded by people and this atmosphere and stuff.
Proper rave. Just having a proper rave.
Thank you. What about you, Alex? The same secret smile.
I'm dreaming about Billy Talent concert and going into a mosh pit, and get drunk after that. So I'm waiting for Billy Talent for a year right now, and Ukrainians are just, switching time. Come on, I want to go to this concert. This is my favorite band. I want to go there.
So I wish your dreams come true. Thanks for this chat. For people that listening to us, watching us, we talked with Alex Bondarenko, the chief editor of Ukrainian media LiRoom, journalist, and we talked with David Stammer, the person who's taking care about radio live broadcasts, a DJ, and a heavy hip hop guy. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you too. Really nice.